day. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day, till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray, I'll never forget this day.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. star. Got more than a couple of people going mad, I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast, didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't shining like it's neon, rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, they never just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, they never just have to leave. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars. Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass.
To their own.
Very dapper pre-match, we can safely say. No, it tickled your fancy. Sort of thing you'd wear, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's a looking delivery. Flashing across goal. Nicky Jackson up there, trying to connect with Sebastian Andersson's in-swinger. Arsenal happy to just watch that one fizz by. And Rapin. Short throw routine this time to try and mix things up. Arsenal equal to it, and decent strength from Nketiah there. Being tugged every which way. Another striker back, helping out his rear guard, which is a promising sign. One of Arsenal's most promising moves coming through that man, Bukayo Saka, so far. Rapids enjoying a good little spell at the moment. Let's real look there at Kellen Acosta, the skipper of the home team. Wearing 10 tonight, sent off in their recent loss to New England Revolution was Acosta. About a game or so, but he's back in the fold tonight.
Well, it explains the reason why he's been included.
Cool, yeah. So
Nketiah keeps it in play nicely.
yeah.
Head up, looking for options. Burton is one of those. His options a little bit limited though. Imposing figure of James Olayinka. They go back to Chambers. Build up. And Nketiah strikes through a delightful ball. Wonderful chance for Arsenal. It's punched in for the opening goal. Mayhem in the box. Bukayo Saka, who's been absolutely outstanding in the game so far. More than happy to bundle the ball home. He helped begin the move. And Bukayo Saka fires home the first goal of Arsenal's North American pre-season tour. Colorado Rapids 0, Arsenal 1.
That's a fantastic move. What a great pass by Nketiah. And then you think, for all intents and purposes, that Saka's trying to be a little bit too cute with the finish. He gets a little bit lucky to try to dink it over the on-rushing Clint Irwin, but it's a fantastic move by the young Arsenal side. And a great start to settle the nerves. He'll be delighted, the young man. He'll take nothing away from that assist by Nketiah. It's through the eye of a needle stuff, wasn't it?
I certainly was. And we talk about the hunger and need to continually prove himself as somebody like Eddie Nketiah. He shot onto the scene as a starlet himself, and he's done solidly since, don't get me wrong, but he knows the talent around him is thus that he has to keep performing, either by setting up goals or scoring them. And his hunger, his vision, setting up young Bukayo Saka. Yes, rode his luck a little bit, but I think we'd agree he's definitely earned that luck with an electric, a lightning start to this game out on that far side.
Yeah, no fear whatsoever by the young man. And again, you wouldn't think it was early on in pre-season from an Arsenal perspective.
Emery, I'm sure, delighted with what he's seeing. We saw the bald head just beneath us of Connor Casey there, who's the Colorado Rapids interim head coach. Took over after a wretched run to the home team earlier in the MLS campaign. Oversaw a run of 4 wins and a draw, but they're now on a run of just 1 win in 5. 3 draws, 1 defeat. That early uplift under Casey has plateaued a little, but Colorado's still a better team than they were a few months ago when they were really struggling. It's a bit of early footwork, but in the end, Dylan Cerner is dispossessed by Martinelli. Arsenal happy to switch the passage of play pretty rapidly from right to left. Thompson chinks it through. Again looking for the debutant Gabriel Martinelli. Just trying to turn and work in confined space. Not a million miles away from pulling it off.
It's like an elaborate attempt, wasn't it? Outnumbered in the corner. Tried a little scoop, but didn't come off on this occasion. But Arsenal have retained possession with Carl Jenkinson.
The confidence growing as Jenkinson puts in a promising looking cross. 3 young Arsenal forwards all up there. Very close to connecting for a potential second. Option may be there from Thompson, who's out of position. Opportunity not too far away from the home team. Nicky Jackson playing up front on his own in this game. He'll have to feed off scrap.
Matt Macy was pretty well set. He's just dragged it across goal, but a good awareness from the striker.
Medley doing just enough to keep him out wide as well and stop him getting into a more dangerous position.
Yeah, he was patient, he stayed on his feet. I think Nicky Jackson will be disappointed he's not hit the target at least.
Nketiah feeds Jenkinson, who's enjoying a decent couple of minutes on this near side. Back to Nketiah, to Martinelli. First time effort from Eddie Nketiah, not either side of the keeper. And that's a second goal.
Again, nice intricate footwork, intricate passing between the Arsenal front men. Oh, Jenkinson starting to move off, Martinelli being available. Good little give and go, wasn't it? Between Martinelli and Nketiah, but just couldn't test the goalkeeper that much on that occasion.
Here's Robbie Burton. He pulled off, I think it's 14 assists for the club's under-18s last season. Been running the FA Youth Cup as well for him. To Nketiah. Now to Martinelli. He's tried to pass it into the corner. Cross shot that was just wide of goal and agonisingly close to Saka connecting with for a second.
Close, wasn't it? You can see what he's trying to do. He's just trying to feed that into the bottom corner. Nketiah is saying he wants to return pass and maybe has a point, but it's a couple of sighters now Martinelli's had. The shot in the first couple of minutes, which he put wide. He's getting closer. He's starting to grow into this game now, isn't he?
Whistle, Kolasinac and Mustafi all hoping to get on a bit later in this game. Obviously some of the more experienced regular first team contenders will get their time in the sun on this tour. Mentioned pre-match, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Fiorentina to come in the International Champions Cup, all as part of this US tour. And games against Ligue 1 sides in France, Angers and Lyon. Big one against Barcelona as well, before the season begins in earnest for Arsenal on the 11th of August with that game at Newcastle. Fascinating to see between now and then who earns their opportunity in Unai Emery's first choice starting 11, and also if any other new faces come in.
Exactly, but this is kind of what the pre-season tour is all about, isn't it? If the manager's unsure about the young players' capabilities of stepping up and taking part in the first team activities, then a tour of this magnitude will certainly test a few of them out, and I fully expect to see some new faces arriving at the Emirates between now and the start of August. Who they will be remains to be seen, though.
Chambers finds Martinelli. Decent bit of defending there from Sam Rapin. Still Arsenal come forward. Inca and Jenkinson doing well. There is Jenkinson, can he keep it in? The answer is no. Ball just trickling out of play. And to go back, Reece, to your point there, I think we can safely say some degree of confirmed interest in the likes of Celtic left-back Kieran Tierney, Crystal Palace playmaker Wilfred Zaha, Saint-Etienne young defender William Saliba. Reports certainly of Gremio forward Everton maybe being on Arsenal's radar. Some promising possibilities there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a strong pipeline, if nothing else. So, again, there's still a lot of time left in the transfer window, and things happen relatively quickly at times. So, I've no doubt the brilliant
Jenkinson, when he had a couple of opportunities last season, did solidly. Hadn't played a first team game for many a year, and then after a pretty tortuous journey of recent years, it all opened up a little bit for him. Good solid club pro who will always give him his best when the opportunity arises, even though it has been a tough time.
Absolutely, I think he's thoroughly enjoyed working with Unai Emery as well since he's come into the club. Often a change of manager, a change of regime can present players fresh opportunities, and I think Cole Jenkinson certainly benefited from that.
From Thompson looking for Inca. Instead by Acosta for the Rapids. Happen is a right-footed left-back trying to come in field, and Trish John Jules read that very well indeed. Nketiah screaming for the ball! Nketiah so close to a second, unleashing a rocket of a shot, which I'm not entirely sure that Clint Owen would have got to.
He got a palm to it, the goalkeeper. It was a really good movement, actually. Nketiah initially came inside, then spun to the outside. Great little ball by Tyrese John Jules. And you're absolutely right. What a way to announce yourself into the first team fold. He's done so well to read that pass out from defence. 2 touches, 3 touches onto his right foot, and just curls a fantastic shot into the top right-hand corner as we're looking at it. That's a tremendous goal. Well done, young man. He's been great this opening half an hour for Arsenal in that midfield area. He's got himself a great goal for his endeavours. Tremendous stuff by the youngster.
Han's absolutely loving that, and rightly so. And it's what I like. We've seen it at age group level, and it's a hard thing to then transpose and transmit to the senior team, but it's that power, isn't it, and that ability to drive through midfield and run with the ball and be a forceful presence that really injects. And
have an end product as well. You see time and time again, runs fizzling out to nothing, no end product, but James Inca on that occasion has just dispatched one straight into the top corner. No goalie in the world is saving that.
Well, that man, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, would have been proud of that finish. Ober's done it many times in Arsenal's colours already since his signing from Borussia Dortmund. Huge fan favourite. Colorado support hoping to see him at some stage later in the game. The youngsters on the field so far doing pretty well. They've got to keep their focus. 2 up is great, but they can't afford to switch off.
No, exactly right. But this is where the experience will potentially play a part for Arsenal. Callum Chambers, Cole Jenkinson, they'll have to marshal the troops, keep communicating with the young players around them. And the only slight sign of dread for Colorado is that you know exactly what's going to happen as the game progresses and the substitutions are being made. There's some serious firepower on the Arsenal bench.
Absolutely so. The younger part of the squad picked for this game already, as you can see on your screen too, to the good. Should say, by the way, 29-man squad for Arsenal for this pre-season tour of the States. Just to run through a few players not included and why. Alex Iwobi and Mohamed El Neni have been on Africa Cup of Nations duty. And even though Nigeria and Egypt are now out, both only out relatively recently, Lucas Torreira has been playing in the Copa America for Uruguay. Matic Guendouzi's been playing for France in the Under-21 European Championships, as we take a look at the other goal again there. Emil Smith-Rowe's got a niggly groin. The likes of Hector Bellerin, Rob Holding, Konstantinos Mavropanos all building their way back up to full fitness after injury. All on this tour, as is Bert Leno, the keeper, still not quite fully fit after a ligament injury to his hand that kept him out of the Europa League final. And the only other one really to mention there is Christian Bielik, not included as we understand it amid interest from AC Milan. Everybody else here and involved. I didn't mention was obviously Laurent Koscielny, the club captain, and everybody well aware, Reece, that Arsenal releasing their statement saying they are very disappointed and he's decided to make himself unavailable for this tour.
Yeah, understandably disappointed. We're not privy to the ins and outs of what's exactly going on behind closed doors, but I think my perception of the situation is that it's because he only potentially wants away and the club don't see eye to eye on the matter, and therefore we've got a bit of an awkward standoff. It's a real shame. I think he's been a tremendous servant to Arsenal over the last 9 years, and I'm hopeful there's an amicable resolution not too far down the line. But it's more about the here and now, and you know, someone like Callum Chambers could very much benefit from a high-profile departure such as Koscielny potentially.
And when he's fit and firing in a few weeks, Rob Holding in a similar boat, I think we can safely say, who was arguably Arsenal's form centre-half before that challenge from Marcus Rashford, wasn't it, against Man United at the turn of the year.
Yeah, he's progressing nicely. Definitely cannot rush him back after the severity of the injury, but as you rightly say, Russ, you know, he showed real signs of promise last season. And I'm sure he'll be champing at the bit to get back involved in first team action.
Ebra Martinelli in field to Therese John-Jules. Remember, 2 goals scored in that 3-3 draw against Boreham Wood back on July the 6th. Will be Burton. Couldn't quite guide the ball through. And his stats that we touched on earlier at age group level, very impressive, aren't they, Robbie Burton?
Yeah, you can see he's a really tidy midfielder. He's always available, and what I like is his awareness when he's on the ball. Okay, he's been caught a couple of times in possession, but that's just down to the fact he's a bit ring rusty. But if you watch the positions he gets himself into, he's always checking his shoulders, seeing what's around him, trying to get turned as and when he can. Again, another bright prospect.
And a quick look at Saka on the screen there, who could hardly have done more in this game so far. Letting the opener before that absolute hurler from James Oyenka. Morado just trying to force their way back into the game. Cole Bassett is limited as Saka denies his opponent's time and space once more. Is a little better as the skipper Kelly da Costa goes out wide. As he thought about coming, thought better of it. Probably the right decision. Quick feet from Mescaida. Shot was not quite in Olenka's class, was it? Similar situation, but very different result.
Yeah, it was just skewed off the outside of his foot, but he's still moving quite gingerly from that challenge with Matt Macy early on. It's not 100%, and I think you can see he grimaced after he took that attempt on goal, skewed it wide. But he's been quite bright and lively though. He's been involved in most good things Colorado have done so far.
One of the more experienced players starting for the home side this evening. Colorado actually temporarily recalled 4 players from loan spells elsewhere to flesh out their squad for this evening. Effectively their kind of feeder club is Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the USL, which is one league below MLS. So Rabin's come back from there. This is Andre Rawls, the keeper, on the bench, and Matt Hundley on the bench as well, the forward. This in turn, decent effort on goal, much more like it from Cole Bassett. You can see his quality as the one player who did start last week against Portland Timbers. Good all-action midfielder. Normally plays in midfield alongside Danny Wilson, the Scot, formerly of Liverpool and Rangers. Talk about him. Sam Nicholson, ex-Hearts, Jack Price, ex-Wolves, all guys in their mid-20s have come over here.
Yeah, but there are opportunities, and I experienced it towards the back end of my career, you know, going abroad and having the courage, I guess, to test yourself in a different environment, and you can still have a fantastic career and have some great experiences by taking yourself out of your comfort zone. You're seeing it now, you know, Reece Nelson going to Hoffenheim, Emil Smith-Rowe going to Leipzig. There are opportunities there if you're willing to embrace them.
Martinelli's done that very thing, coming from Brazil to North London, sets up another opportunity out wide to Jenkinson. His delivery is just about headed to safety. Mayinka steaming in, looking for a second pile driver of the half. That wasn't quite meant to be, as Chambers breaks up play quite brilliantly. And Jules, upended surely. Decision was he made a bit of a meal of that, but I thought he might have been clipped there.
It looked like it, didn't it? It's good footwork initially. Close confined quarters. Skipped away from a challenge. It looked like he was taken out almost waist high. I think Callum Chambers' proximity maybe blocked the referee's view a little bit. They've shown good fitness levels, Arsenal, haven't they, this first period? Not showing any signs of flagging as of yet.
Promising for sure, given the travelling, the altitude, the fact that it is pre-season as well. Yes, these are some of the younger players who you would hope would be fit and raring to go, but this is spot on. It's been a promising first 42 minutes in almost every regard.
I have to say, gone are the days though, Russ, of the season finishing and lads having 6 weeks off. If lucky, you might have a week away in the sun somewhere, and then it's back to maintenance ticking over, because you know come the first day of pre-season you do not want to be the guy that's done nothing, playing catch up.
You were never that guy, were you?
Absolutely not, no. Thoroughbred me.
Kept it up post-career, believe you me. Jenkinson there. Maybe he's puffing a bit, but you know, he's the elder statesman of the team, isn't he?
Sometimes a picture said 1,000 words.
Here are some of the youngsters. Burton to Thompson. Good skills from Tom Thompson. John Jules to Nketiah. Keeper had to try and use his feet because of the potential back pass. Oh, just flicks off Saka's hand. Saka couldn't quite bring it down. In the end, quick thinking from the Rapids goalkeeper. Oh, they ride their luck a tad. Get themselves right out of trouble.
It's been a good battle, that, actually. Nicky Jackson against Zach Medley. I think Zach's got his second win because he was toiling a little bit about 20 minutes ago, but he won that foot race quite comfortably and showed good composure to come away with possession.
Bassett once more, an important player for Rapids in this first half. Nketiah definitely felt that. A tackle flying in by Kofi Apare. Ghanaian has had a understated first 43 minutes of this one. Just couldn't keep it in any longer. Nice challenge and in the book.
It was incredibly late and clumsy. Thankfully, Eddie Nketiah's bounced back up quite quickly. Quite apology, and rightly so.
This player to go in the book tonight is Kofi Apare. The over the top play from Eddie Nketiah, brings Saka back into play. Saka fancied a pop. Nketiah was the man in possession of the ball. Saka stood off him to let him have a go. Not for the first time, not too far away.
He's ever willing, isn't he, Ed Nketiah? You can see it really gets to him, and it's not a bad trait to have as a striker.
I feel his work rate and his all-round game is improving over time as he brings others into the game and just takes that slightly broader look at the striker's role these days, particularly when he's kind of mobile forward and a predatory finisher.
There's a couple of tired tackles now coming in from the Colorado Rapids players. John George took a painful one there. I'm not sure the book's coming out again. It could have done.
Helen Acosta, as you mentioned, had that red card against New England not so long ago. Got the odd bad tackle obviously in it. She deals with that one nicely. Hadley. There's the young centre-halves at the club, Ben Sheaf, loaned to Doncaster the other day. Someone who's going to have a season away from the club to help build him through. And now Robbie Burton has taken a knock to his ankle. Looks to be in some pain.
He's gone over on it as well. I think the pitch looks quite treacherous. It looks pretty firm underfoot, but also we've had a bit of rain and it's quite slippy on top. And a lot of the guys are wearing moulded footwear. You can see he's just rolled his ankle again. They're quite innocuous at first, but they can be so painful.
Yeah. It's about the fifth step, isn't it?
Yeah.
Player when Arsenal made it through to the final of the FA Youth Cup a couple of years ago, and they eventually lost out to Chelsea. Say the season since, the one just gone. Prolific at age group level, the highly rated young Welshman. Let's hope he's okay.
I think I just see the physio had a little whisper in his ear. I think he'll be coming off anyway in a matter of seconds. So no point in risking it. Get that iced quickly, compressed. Hopefully it's not too bad.
The second half team could be something to behold. Leno, Socrates, Mkhitaryan, Lacazette, Ozil, Aubameyang, Maitland-Niles, Monreal, Mustafi, Nelson, Martinez, Kolasinac, Willett, Xhaka. Interesting.
I'm not sure the Colorado defenders would agree with that analogy.
Can they get one back before half-time? Macy does well. Uses every inch of his claim, and then Carl Jenkinson clearing it off the line. Good keeping from Macy, and intelligent defending from Jenkinson. They're combined to keep it at 0.
Yeah, exactly right. It's taken 48 minutes, but they finally had a shot on target, Colorado. It's a decent strike. Talking about that zip off the surface. It was a strong palm by Macy. Good defending by Carl Jenkinson backing him up, but there's a corner to defend.
Ball smacked against the
live Serie A on Premier Sports.
We are at the National Stadium for the meeting of Hearts and Celtic. This is what it's all about. It's the first time that these two teams have gone head to head in this end of season showpiece event in 63 years.
The players are on the cusp of something great, but that's a brilliant place to be. It's down to the hard work over the last few years and, you know, their success, and they've got themselves in a brilliant position again to achieve something very special.
This is a chance for Hearts. They have to forget about absolutely everything. It is a shot to nothing. Who knows what may happen? This, you know, it's a one shot, an opportunity to become heroes for Hearts.
The National Stadium brace in anticipation and ready to explode to greet the teams for the 134th William Hill Scottish Cup Final. These are the days that provide moments and memories that will stay for a lifetime. Hampden Park decked out in maroon and green and white. This grand old arena has seen it all before, but supporters and players today, this is all that matters. It's Scottish football's showpiece event at Hampden Park. Heart of Midlothian versus Celtic for the William Hill Scottish Cup.
They've done it before against Celtic, defeated the Invincibles, the first team to do that. Made a performance every bit as good this afternoon to win this cup.
Now he's got options. One of them is Rogic. Celtic begin to find their flow for the first time. It's Odsonne Edouard. Celtic opening Hearts up for the first time. At half-time at Hampden Park, it's Heart of Midlothian 0, Celtic 0.
I think from Hearts' point of view, if they get a goal and could go a goal in front, they'll get something to hang on to.
Hearts, from that first 45 minutes, will have grown in belief that they can be the ones to break the stranglehold that Celtic have over trophies in Scotland.
They would love to have had Stephen Naismith available for this game.
He is now set up Arno Djoum.
It's Ryan Edwards to give Hearts of Midlothian the lead in the Scottish Cup final. Nobody gave them a chance, but Hearts and Greg Levine believed, and they're in front in the Scottish Cup final.
Hayes might get through for Edward. Slimane hesitated and brings down the French striker, and Celtic have a way back in. What a big moment. Just over an hour played. Edwards at one end. It's Edward at the other. Celtic level things up just when you thought the treble might be slipping through their fingertips.
Berra did well against
Edward, but it's come through for the Frenchman. One-on-one. Is this the moment? That delivers the treble, and may well be. 8.5 minutes left to play. Odsonne Edouard at the double to deliver the treble. Comes out to Hickey. Celtic have him and for it. The full-time whistle goes. Unparalleled joy for Celtic. Time to party. Neil Lennon has brought the thunder and the lightning, and he has delivered the treble for Celtic. Rewriting history, redefining success. Celtic Football Club, William Hill Scottish Cup winners 2019. A dream that has become a reality. The treble secured. And this one is for the legends of the Lisbon Lions.
Watch Scotland prepare for this autumn's Rugby World Cup in Japan as they take on France and Georgia live on Premier Sports.
You know what? You're never done. Well, when your control is great, work on your balance. When your balance is great, strengthen your intuition. When your build is strong, elevate your presence. And when you're great at that, keep on working. The C-Class range, never stop improving. Available to customers for a 48-hour test drive today.
wanted a lager with more taste, so we made one. Hop House 13.
We do things a little differently here at the AA. Our cutting-edge technology means we can get you going again in around 30 minutes. And with our Tap and Track app, you can follow your AA mechanic all the way to your side. Plus, with unlimited call-outs, we'll be there when you need us. Switch to a different kind of breakdown service for just £4.50 a month. Search AA Breakdown now or visit theaa.com.
Sit back and take in the sea air on a journey where time does the flying. It's amazing the places we can take you. Get that ferry feeling. P&O Ferries.
At Harry's, our razors don't come with a vibrating thingamajig. Just 5 blades, a trimmer and a lubricating strip. Get started with a £3.95 trial set at harrys.com.
Emma just liked a beach photo of her old geography teacher. That's okay, Em. There's one online fail we can all avoid. Choosing the right broadband provider. He sent a message.
On the bright side, get fixed price broadband and line rental from $19.99 a month for 12 months. Now, pound cashback. Search PlusNet Broadband. PlusNet will do you proud.
Here, kitty, kitty. Get money car. Money supermarket.
Ronaldo has his goal.
Trying his luck. Oh, he's done it!
Messi. Dani Alves to put a flourish. That was Brazil.
Beautifully. Oh, how about that? And that's what so many of the fans came to see this evening.
Ibrahimovic.
Score! On the bicycle! The wait for the great 8 is over.
Oh, we might have a few Arsenal changes at half-time, but as far as we can make out, there are none. Same young Gunners team from the first half begins the second. Colorado Rapids making 2 half-time changes meanwhile. Interim head coach Connor Casey deciding to take off arguably his 2 most experienced players. Cole Bassett in midfield and fellow midfielder Nicholas Mezquida. He rolled his ankle early in the game. With regular MLS starters, they're off and on have come Jordan Schweitzer wearing 40 and Kwasi Donsu wearing 36. Those are the 2 changes. Surprising for you, either team?
Not so much from an Arsenal perspective. I think the youngsters have been given
Voice of Reece Weston, the former Arsenal defender, alongside me. In the game they're resting the likes of Bassett and Mesquida from half-time 4 is when they take on New York City FC next Saturday. The likes of veteran former Man U and Everton keeper Tim Howard will be back for that. Plus Kay Camera, the top scorer, and that British contingent we mentioned as well, but he's on the field being stretched at the moment. Lovely run from Saka. Dangerous cross shot. And frustratingly, Martinelli just couldn't quite make contact for that first Arsenal goal. But again, the man who scored the opener, Saka, beginning the second half with similar brilliance and similar intent.
Yeah, he's gone for a similar kind of finish as well, hasn't he? He's tried a little dink over the goalkeeper again, just run out of angle. And Martinelli wasn't gambling as perhaps he should have been at the far post. But nonetheless, a bright start by the young Arsenal side again in the second period.
Saka, if he missed it at the start of the game, putting the fear of God into Colorado with a brilliant early run. Not long after that, managed to effectively bundle home the opening goal. Another good run, aided then by a fortunate little ricochet. Which way they come up? The Ollie Inker able to continue after that knock at half-time where he took a clearance full on the forehead. James Ollie Inker, who scored a sublime second. Here's Saka again, appealing for another free kick. Turn. Doesn't quite fall for John Jules, maybe tries to do too much in too constricted a space on that occasion. Helen Acosta, the MLS side's captain, leads the counter-attack. As far as Dylan Cerner, up to the new man, Kwasi Donsu, wearing 36. Bring his right foot across on that left-hand side. Cerner again, options limited. Strong tackle from Carl Jenkinson, dispossesses Donsu with ease. And finds the Brazilian debutant Gabriel Martinelli. Back to Jenkinson. Decent delivery. Looking for Saka. Strong piece of defending from Colorado once more. Sebastian Anderson this time forced to get his very sharpest at the back.
That's good play by Carl Jenkinson, wasn't it? It was really industrious defending to win the ball back. And he clipped a decent ball to the near post. Saka's made a run from back to front. It was good defending by Sebastian Anderson.
He's going to bend it in. In fact, he goes for the short option. Burton. That's clear by Nicky Jackson, back helping out his defenders. Inker showing no ill effects from that smack on the face of the ball right at the end of the first half, which is good to see.
I wonder if Zek Mehdi apologised for his part in that blasting the ball at his teammate from no more than 3 yards away.
It wasn't the best, I have to say. There's a strong header again. And Chambers did sign a new contract extension with Arsenal just before he was loaned out for the majority of the season to Fulham. As Reece says, playing mostly in central midfield and doing well in a struggling team. Named their player of the year. Back and keen to show what he can do. Ball just slightly overhit. Have been reports that the likes of Jenkinson and Chambers could be I stress potential make-weights in any deal for Wilfried Zaha, the Crystal Palace playmaker. I wonder if as players you read that and worry, or whether you just focus on your job in hand and try and take the opportunity that emerges on a night like tonight.
Yeah, there's always going to be speculation. I think it's from Cole Jenkinson's perspective, I think it will be less of a surprise if he was to leave. I think he'd be the first one to say he wants to play regularly. He's had a couple of successful loan spells over the last few years. But from Callum Chambers' perspective, I think he's still got a lot to offer. I really do. And I think, given time and given the right platform, he'd be a tremendous servant to Arsenal.
Fully agree with those sentiments. Good little run from Dominic Thompson. Eventually just ran out of options. But yeah, Chambers can play as a back two like he is tonight. As a centre half in that, he can play as the right side of a back three. Certainly in defensive midfield as he did at Fulham. For me, not quite so comfortable as a regulation right back, but he has played there as well.
Well, at Southampton, absolutely. I just think he maybe lacks the raw pace like Hector Bellerin has in that wide berth, but certainly on the right of a three or as a conventional centre-back pairing. No, he's a good communicator. I think if you put someone alongside him that's maybe a little bit more bullish and dynamic, perhaps it could be. He could be a great foil.
Mentioning Hector Bellerin, on his way back, of course, from cruciate knee ligament damage midway through last season, just like Rob Holding. Both on this tour as they build up their strength and match fitness and build up those knees once more. Bellerin, footage on the Arsenal website of him kicking a ball in training for the first time, and I think recently it was 177 days, wasn't it, which was great news to see.
It's a remarkable recovery as well. I mean, gone are the days now that a cruciate ACL injury keeps you out for 12, 18 months.
Or could end your career as well.
Absolutely. I mean, the rehabilitation these guys have available now, plus their professional mindset, 6-9 months isn't beyond the realms of possibility. And when you've got that determination, that desire to come back from an injury, it's great to see.
And we're going to see a third Colorado substitution. Matt Hundley, striker who was on loan at the Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the USL. That loan temporarily suspended for tonight. For that quartet of loanees featuring comes striker Matt Hundley wearing 29. We've seen as the match has gone on, Nicky Jackson kind of plough an increasingly lone furrow up front, so probably just at least mixes things up from that man Connor Casey.
Yeah, he doesn't see much of the ball in this second period, Nicky Jackson. He made some interesting runs, some decent runs in the first half.
Burton wins that free kick. Again, it's Chambers who, as well as being a good communicator and presence at the back, he likes to build out and play the ball out from defence too, as we're seeing here. Doesn't always perhaps go quite according to plan, but certainly the intent and the quality is there. Just maybe needs a bit of consistent nurturing. We'll see if that happens this season. Jenkinson this time concedes the free kick, doing his best to try and stay off his man, but just nudged him, I think.
Slightly overzealous, I think. Nothing more, just definition of touch tight and took it one step too far, Cole Jenkinson. But he's put a decent shift. The Arsenal right back this evening.
And Cerner taking his place just to the edge of the penalty area. Over hit, delivering out the chances.
Absolutely, it just shows that the development process is working. And obviously with the promotion of Freddie Ljungberg now to the assistant manager for the first team, are we going to see that synergy between the youngsters coming through into the first team setup.
And we're starting to see the Arsenal substitutions with that third goal in. On come Joe Willock and Squadron Mustafi. And seen pre-match in those funky shades and all the bling. And he let it do the talking. Now, onside is Eddie Nketiah. The player not interfering with play in an offside position. Nketiah twisting and turning. Thought about getting the shot away, then tried to feed Burton.
Inside, Kolasinac has snuck on as well. So around about the hour mark as we predicted.
Hopefully we've just seen the first of many goals over the years to come for Gabriel Martinelli. Certainly a highly rated youngster back in South America. Arsenal very pleased to land his signature as the one and only signing of the summer so far. Again, we hope the first of many. Moment for him. Joe Willock gets his first touch, a man who's seen a good amount of first team action. One of three brothers, of course, all with great footballing pedigree, two of whom have come through the Arsenal youth ranks. It's John Jules, still hungry for a goal. Martinelli looking for a second. There was Willock. Martinelli's effort. John Jules' effort. Arsenal nearly landing 2 in 2 minutes there. We talk about Nketiah being hungry for goals. Therese John Jules exactly the same.
Absolutely disappointed. He did so well, didn't he? When the ball came to him. Great chop onto his left foot. Just leaning back under a bit of pressure. Just couldn't work the goalkeeper.
Well, that was some block from Kofi Apari as well to deny Martinelli a second in the build-up.
Very brave indeed. So we see the departure of Callum Chambers, Dominic Thompson.
Yep, Kolasinac is indeed onto the field. Is it Oleinka, the other man, who's possibly gone off?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it is. Asking a little bit too much of Bukayo Saka there. Kolasinac apologising. Fascinating to see as well what Arsenal do on the left side of their defence for the season to come. Emery seeming to generally prefer a flat back four. We have seen three at the back on occasion, but if it is a flat back four, in a second as John Jules unleashes one well wide. Kolasinac for me is at his most comfortable as a left wing back. I'd say Nacho Monreal as the years advance probably at his most comfortable in my view as the left side of a back three. Regulation left back berth, whether it's going to be someone from within the club or whether the likes of a Kieran Tierney do come in, I think that's going to be one really interesting area.
Absolutely, and again, it really depends how Unai Emery favours in terms of formation. I agree with you in terms of Nacho Monreal. I think his days at a conventional fullback are on the wane. I think Kolasinac, when he's fit and firing, prefers ground to run into. So there's big decisions to be made.
A little look there at Özil and Aubameyang. Two of the real stars who are massive draws on a tour like this. All these fans with their Arsenal shirts on. Having a glimpse of them around the sidelines. Ball takes a deflection. It's Donsu, the sub, who pulled the trigger. Yes, it was. Macy saw it early, despite that flick off a defender. Made the save.
He just took it a little bit early, Donsu, there. I think he had a bit more time than he gave himself credit for. Mustafi had dropped off. So to take on an early shot wasn't too uncomfortable for Matt Macy, who's had a pretty assured evening. Done well what he's been asked to do.
Staffy, someone again who expect and hope to be in the Arsenal first team next season, but consider him and Socrates Papastathopoulos, who's on the bench tonight. Holding coming back, Chambers back from loan. You never know, possibly still a role for Koscielny to play depending on the decision there. Another important talking point for Unai Emery for the season to come. Every sight he gets in coming days will be critical, as Saka puts in the cross. Just in between two advancing Arsenal players on that occasion. But Arsenal 3 up and quite happy to dictate play and really take it still to the opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where game management comes into things. You can see, I think, the inexperience of Colorado starting to show. They're dropping deep. The cohesion they have at the start has dropped off, as you'd expect, with the introduction of some fresh faces. But Arsenal are just going through the motions at the moment. Youngsters have done the damage. And that's a case of, I think we'll see another 2 or 3 changes, 15-20 minute cameos.
Well, if it's these three, if it's Ozil, Lacazette and Aubameyang, I think everybody will be happy, arguably apart from some of the Colorado players. But you know what? Even they, I think, even if they have a couple of goals put past them, would relish and remember that 20 minutes they played against 3 of the world's most potent forwards.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They could somehow keep them out. What a tale to tell. Ref just having a word with Jenkinson. He avoids going in the book, but gets a talking to.
Yeah, there's a rather loud expletive, I think, emanating from Cole Jenkinson after that decision, which is the referee's just telling him to calm himself down.
Rabban floats it in, adjusted down by Opare. I think it just ghosted into an offside position. Yep.
He stood 2 yards offside before the ball was played. So it wasn't a difficult decision for the referee's assistant to make.
Check your line ideally in that kind of situation. I'm sure you did. Tinu, along with Thompson, helped set up that 3rd goal for Martinelli. Staffy's ball over the top is a good one, picked up by Therese John-Jules, offloads to Nketiah, beats one man. We just needed a bit more power, and again needs to be a yard either side of keeper Irwin.
Nice interplay, wasn't it? Great little spin into the channel by Tyrese John-Jules. Delightful little back heel into the path of Eddie Nketiah. A slightly tired shot again on his least favoured left foot. Still managed to work the goalie. Be desperate to get on the score sheet though, Nketiah.
Burton jinks one through. Nketiah with another powerful shot. Blocked by Anderson this time. Sebastian Anderson puts his body on the line, just as Kofi Opare had done earlier. And Arsenal come forward in droves. Burton again. To Saka. Just couldn't quite get his footing and his balance for that one and ended up snatching at it.
Again, a little bit tired. Bukayo Saka.
Great block.
Really good block, wasn't it? To the couple in this game. Sebastian Anderson, a diminutive character but brave, throwing his body in the way of things.
Absolutely. There is the trio, the mighty trio. Fans desperate to see them go through their paces. Staffy and Medley happy to exchange a couple of passes before Arsenal prepare to launch another assault. The Emerald like this, even if it's not dramatic harem-scarum football, it's controlled, it's measured as they work the overlap and work the opportunity again, which leads to another corner.
See, it was calm and loose, composed, I think. Bamiyang with Ozil just taking the proverbial out of Cyclaz and actually attempts it across there.
Well, they'd come off a Colorado player, but obviously not.
I think it was an air shot. Much to the delight of his teammates watching on from the sidelines.
I thought it was a cleverly constructed dummy, but clearly not.
Tell you what, when you're breathing heavily and your teammates are mocking you from the touchline, it can be an unforgiving place, football at times, I tell you.
There's Nketiah. Not to use Jenkinson. Back from Burton. Ali and Burton exchange passes. Here's the scorer of the third goal. Slightly fortuitously off his chest shoulder area. Period of possession here from Arsenal as the fans try to get behind both sides. Colorado fans trying to G their team up to at least maybe get one goal. Arsenal supporters, of which there are many, as you can see from the red and white in the crowd, wanting more. Again, Apare is there. Dylan Cerner endeavours to counter-attack. Early pass, good early pass. So close to a goal. Arguably the closest that the Rapids have come. Again, it's the sub Kwasi Donsu just wide.
Great ball as well. Really good ball. Cyclaz is hoping that Donsu's offside. He's not. He's timed his run perfectly. And again, just a bit more composure. Could have taken a touch. He's gone for the first time volley.
Would have been a lovely goal had it gone in.
Would have been a fantastic goal.
Kolasinac with that air shot at one end, which his teammates enjoyed, shall we say. And then at the other, just caught slightly napping. Easing his way into pre-season, perhaps, the Bosnia-Herzegovina international. Great ball from Nketiah. Jenkinson showing decent pace, but so did Sam Rabban. Those low knees from Colorado Springs switchbacks for this game.
Still alright playing on the wrong side, isn't he?
Yeah, effectively in the championship of MLS, the USL, and as you say, playing on the wrong side. Doing all right. Baffy's ball over the top. Kolasinac. Saka. Jay Willock with ball to Therese John Jules' cross shot. Agonisingly close from both the goal in his own right and from being tapped in by either Martinelli or Nketiah. Very reminiscent of a first half opportunity that was almost identical.
It's the right option by Tyrese John-Jules going across goal. Nketiah's just saying it's either a cross or a shot, and it's frustrated the young man because he didn't gamble again. He just watched it go agonisingly past his toe.
What a trio of names to come onto the field as Colorado prepared to make a quadruple substitution of their own. Certainly Andres Romero and Kalas Abubakar are among their players to come on. And those three names speak for themselves, don't they? Tyrese John-Jules, one of the players coming off. Listen to that roar for Oba, for Lacazette and for Ozil. Eddie Nketiah also coming off the field. High fives with the Gabon international. Emery happy with Nketiah's work, and the crowd very happy to see these iconic global stars and brilliant gunners all coming on. Martinelli is the other player to come off, having scored in his first match in Arsenal colours. What the season holds for that man, Mesut Ozil, ahead.
Well, a big season, I hope. I think, you know, he's much maligned in certain quarters, but still an undeniable talent and so vitally important to this Arsenal side.
Particularly, of course, with now Aaron Ramsey anymore, having gone to Juventus.
If you analyse the stats, have a look at the key involvements by any Arsenal player last season, regardless of how they achieved, Ozil was up there in all the key departments.
That Lacazette and Aubameyang will definitely bang in their fair share of goals between them. Also pulling some strings. Very important. The likes of Mkhitaryan with the roles they play. Keep lying and assisting the forwards will be critical as Colorado go for that opening goal again. Julian Acosta, the skipper, is dragging it wide.
Good bit of movement again. A little bit of a lack of communication. Runner coming from deep. And he's just tugged it wide, hasn't he? They've had a couple of chances, Colorado.
Mention of these other names coming on for Colorado. Christopher Reeves, another of the players to come onto the field, wearing 42. Romero on, Abubakar on, Reeves on. Huge cheers for that first touch by Ozil. Deafening cheers almost.
A smile crept across his face when he got that reception.
Looking football. Crowd properly on tenterhooks and on the edges of their seats, watching their hero Lacazette try and pull the trigger.
The loosener from Laka. High, wide and handsome.
Setting his sights, getting his gauge.
This is what the punters pay the money to see, though, isn't it? You rightly said, Russell. Global superstars in their own right. And also with the introduction of the likes of Ozil, Aubameyang, Lacazette, you watch the young players now refocus their minds, their touch, their passing. They will not want to give the ball away in this company.
Ismaili Joan, by the way, wearing 41, is the fourth of the Colorado subs to come onto the field. That's just shoved in the back. He'll take the free kick. Joe Willock. Nice and actually in a bit of space. Intelligent ball to Aubameyang. Trademark flick with the instep of his right foot. Bamboozled many a defender. Nearly worked that time.
Yeah, it's a good run. Good pass by Kolasinac. Good defending as well.
Abubakar, the Ghanaian, on loan from Columbus Crew.
See what, I haven't seen that much hair on someone's head for a long, long time.
From a Jason Lee.
Wow.
Up there, isn't it?
Must weigh a ton.
Aubameyang. Most marching through the door there. Saka and Anderson battle for the ball. Saka comes off second best in the eyes of the referee on that occasion. Good night, the youngest player in the starting lineup. Work this from Colorado. You see, deal with it brilliantly, but no major concern because you didn't have a Colorado player putting you under any semblance of pressure.
There was no one following in on that occasion. Again, it's the skiddy surface.
Medley has had an assured game at the back. Mustafi, Aubameyang has made a run. It's a decent run as well. Set off express pace. Did Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang know exactly what was coming? Yeah, at least wins Arsenal a throw. Aka to Willock. Back to Aubameyang. Effortlessly wins the corner. Willock again to Kolasinac. Oh! Lacazette did not expect that to fall to him. Kalas Abubakar inexplicably let it go. Lacazette certainly didn't think he was gonna. As a result, couldn't fire it home.
Just took his eye off the ball, didn't he? I don't think he can quite believe the ball made its way through to him. He's completely miscontrolled it. And again, the smile and the joviality that we saw 10 minutes ago has soon disappeared off the face of Lacazette. It's game time, isn't it? He's so focused. And again, another one of these strikers that just loves to score and is so disappointed every time they miss an opportunity.
There it is. What Abubakar was thinking, I don't know. Lacazette, furious with himself as much as anything. This is the bit you mentioned. Yeah, definitely no happy smiley face there. Game face, beady eyes, the works.
Absolutely, but that's the mark of an elite predator, isn't it? That's exactly what he is, Alex Lacazette. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. Very emotive character. What a player he is as well.
He certainly is, banging in some colossal goals since arriving for big money from Lyon. It was the club's record signing until the arrival of Aubameyang, who surpassed that by a few million. Joe Willock having a pop. There's Oba just limping a tad, but hopefully nothing serious.
I think he's just casually playing himself in.
I'll be tired.
You'd be surprised. A few sprints, take it out of you.
And move this from the Rapids. Not for the first time tonight. They try to pull the trigger from distance, and the shot is just lacking any quality in any direction. Kellen Costa, the skipper, the guilty party there.
Again, I think it was just ran out of ideas a little bit. He wasn't really set to take on that shot with his left foot. And blazed it horribly wide, but he's had a decent game as well, actually. getting across. So I think, being between the lines, obviously him missing a couple of games through suspension, chance to get some game time.
I guess that might go in the book here. That was a little bit cynical, and he's got away with it, but lost out and just stuck out a foot, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly did. He's slightly frustrated after that missed opportunity, I think.
Venting that frustration on one of his rivals. As a result, here come Colorado again. Now Anderson is down. Kolasinac has brought him down. Kolasinac isn't happy.
Kolasinac looks tired.
He came on after 62 minutes, didn't he?
He can't have any complaints there either. Sebastian Anderson just got on the wrong side of him, and it's a tired tug at his jersey, and that's a booking in any format of the game.
Yeah. Ed looking, saying at Kolasinac. That's the way the free kick in a dangerous area. It will be a cost to the captain to take it. Nice to have a hop, and again Macy didn't quite deal with it first time, but credit the young keeper who reacted quickly, and this time, boy, were the Colorado players following up.
You can see what Acosta's trying to do. He's just trying to whip it around the wall at the near post. He's overcooked it actually. Macy's seen it late and gathered it into the second occasion.
Arsenal nick a fourth with a lot of their senior players on the field, I wonder. Nice turn from Joe Willett, action midfielder. Another beautiful turn from the youngster. Here's Jenkinson. Oh, ball just kept skidding off that surface. Jenkinson was going to get there initially, but really the ball almost seemed to gather pace, didn't it?
That's a test of fitness, isn't it? 89th minute, chase after that. But great play by Joe Willett. He's such a talented ball player. Elegance and poise and strength, awareness. The way he ghosted away from those 3 or 4 challenges, unfortunately overhit the pass, but I think he's got a really bright future ahead of him, be it at Arsenal, wherever he may end up. But a really talented player.
Challenge from Kolasinac this time. Saka picks up the loose ball. Here's Aubameyang. About 20 time added on. We'll find out how much in a second. One additional minute, which the fans don't like. They want more, don't they?
Yeah, they've paid their money. They want to see as much of these superstars as they possibly can. I think, to sum up, I think it's been a very satisfactory exercise for Arsenal this evening. Some good fitness, some good experience for the young players, and a reasonable test in a bit of a mismatched Colorado side, who haven't disgraced themselves either.
Hoping for one more before the match ends. Straight onto the boot of Aubameyang. Made a powerful connection. Always rising though.
Yeah, a few balls have gone missing over that far goal.
Oba nearly putting the icing on the cake there with a fourth. Not to be. But Arsenal getting the job done. Mesut Ozil taking the captain's armband for the final few minutes after the departure of Callum Chambers. Corner cases, boys. Not at full strength or anything close to it, but in a decent showing in front of their own fans. Nearly a capacity 18,000 crowd. Rising young stars. Bukayo Saka, James Olayinka with a beauty. And a first for the club from Gabriel Martinelli. The difference between the teams, and Arsenal begin their pre-season tour of the USA with a win. Onwards and upwards next to Los Angeles to take on the might of Bayern Munich. It's finished Colorado Rapids 0, Arsenal 3.
Be your best. Follow your own path. Feel no pressure from him, or her, or them. And start by taking pressure off your skin. New Gillette Skin Guard Sensitive. The revolutionary technology takes pressure off the blades and pressure off your shave, helping to stop irritation on sensitive skin. So whatever pressures you face, shaving shouldn't be one of them. Gillette, the best a man can get.
You know what? You're never done. Well, when your control is great, work on your balance. When your balance is great, strengthen your intuition. When your build is strong, elevate your presence. And when you're great at that, keep on working. The C-Class range, never stop improving. Available to customers for a 48-hour test drive today.
You can check your eligibility for an Aqua credit card without affecting your credit score. We say yes to 5,000 people every week, even when other lenders may have said no. And we could say yes to you too. That's because at Aqua, we know you're more than your credit score. If you're ready to build better credit, why not start today? Check your eligibility at aquacard.co.uk. Representative 35.9% APR variable.
Superfast Fibre is so reliable it now comes with a Stay Fast guarantee. Which means we'll give you £20 back if your speed isn't everything you've been promised morning, noon and night. Superfast Fibre Essential is £29.99 a month on an 18-month contract. It's our lowest standard price for unlimited fibre. For broadband that's fast all of the time, not some of the time, search BT Broadband or call 0800 102 800. BT, be there.
This is Peloton.
Let's get this started.
Studio cycling, live and on demand in your home. And his and hers.
Find that beat.
This is thousands of riders connecting with world-class instructors and each other. This is a game-changing workout whenever you want it. This is you reaching your personal best. Until tomorrow. Peloton.
You know what really stings? HMRC is changing the way you file your taxes. Crazy, right? Your job isn't being good at tax stuff, it's being good at that. With QuickBooks, you can snap, sort and store your receipts, which makes tax filing a doddle. Because after a day of working with needles, you shouldn't be the one in pain.
QuickBooks, backing you. In the dark about your credit score? Financial and your score from to Money Supermarket's Credit Monitor lets you check and improve your score for free. I hope he's wearing trunks. Get money car. Money Supermarket.
Get our very best summer offers at haven.com. Haven, a breath of fresh air.
Open Table. No matter what the occasion, find the right restaurant on the Open Table app. Download the app, reserve your table.
The danger of relegation is real for these two clubs.
Shenhua 1 point off the bottom to the relegation zone, and Hebei a mere 1 point better off, 2 points safe of the current relegation places. Here come Shanghai Shenhua though. There'll be a throw here for the away team, taken by Jiejun. 10 here is Moreno, the Colombian. Came off the Brazilian Marcao there for Hebei China Fortune. Both enduring their worst ever Super League starts. Shenhua, a club who've since 1951 spent only 1 year outside the top division in the Chinese game. Never presence in the 16 Super League seasons since 2004. 3 times runners-up in the league's current format, but never champions yet. Only Hebei's 4th top-flight season. Their best to finish 4th place in 2017. This is Aidi Fulangshisi, helped on by Kim Shin-wook. And the chance, and the shot wide from Zhang Lu into Hebei side netting. And Zhang Lu, who is the right wing back in essence in this formation for Choi Kang-hee, has scored 1 goal so far this term in the rare win 5-1 over Beijing Renhe back in April. They've won 1 of 10 matches since. But a bright start here then in Choi Kang-hee's first game in charge for Shanghai Shenhua. Cleared away by Zhu Chenji. There's Javier Mascherano. Aidi Fulangshisi for Zhang Lu here for Shenhua. Chase on for the huge Kim Shin-wook. 51 caps for South Korea. Brought in a double swoop this week with the Italian Stefano Shirawi in 2, but he's not yet able to feature. The player brought in for what could be in the end at 20 million euros from AS Roma. Now Mascherano for Hebei. This is Ren Hang. And again, Ren Hang scored in the home win here for Shenhua back in August of last year, 4-1. This game does tend to produce goals. The 7 meetings home and away have produced on average 4.4 goals a game, so we could well see plenty of goals in this one today. This is Jiang Zhipeng. Jiang Zhipeng looks for the prodigious Tao Chuang Long. He's only 17, the number 29. Half the age of Javier Mascherano, who's 35 now. Zhang Chengdong breaks though here for Giovanni Moreno. Zhang Chengdong. This is the Brazilian striker Marcao. Marcao for Hebei. Looks for the run here of El Khaobi. And the ball seized by the recalled Li Shuai. In goal for Shanghai Shenhua. Dropped in April after 3 years as the really undisputed number 1 for Shanghai Shenhua. Dropped after a 2-1 defeat away to Guangzhou R&F. But the new coach's first job has been to restore him as the number 1. This is Dong Shusheng, who began his career playing for Shenhua. There's been in recent games a real thorn in their side too, with in his last 3 games against his former club a goal scored for Hebei. Nicked here by Mascherano for Jiang Zhipeng. And caught by Zhang Lu, free kick for Hebei. Hebei's has been a shocking season so far. Just 3 wins in their first 16 matches. Only Shenzhen and Renhe have scored fewer goals too, just 16 so far in their league matches. Only 5 clubs have let in more as well than their rather porous 26. Be a Mascherano free kick here for Hebei China Fortune. In by Mascherano. Far too high there for El Kabi at the far post. Mascherano is the third year playing in China. No goals yet in his 41 games in the Super League. Xi Feng remains the caretaker coach. This is Choi Kang-hee's first match at the helm. He was brought in before last week's game, but only the day before the derby defeat to Shanghai SIPG. This is his first match in actual control of the team selection. Kim Shin-wook. Wriggling away here is Cao Yunding. And still goes on, but then shrugged aside. Here now to Dong Shushang. Zhang Lu for Shenhua, for Moreno. Adi Fulang Shisi. Not too long that for Kim Shin-wook. He is a target man. Now brought in from the Korean champions Jeonbuk Motors. Won the Korean League and the Asian Champions League too under the coaching of Choi Kang-hee, so a man the new head coach will know well to work together with him in China. What he is, he's a real aerial menace at 6'5" or 1m96. A painful blow as well in the midfield. That clash with the Dong Shusheng left Sun Shilin in trouble. El Kabi. There is Kim Shin-wook. Cao Yunding into Moreno's feet. By Jiajun. Nicked there, but illegally so by Javier Mascherano. Free kick goes Shanghai Shenhua's way. Finished a very solid 7th place last year, Shenhua. 1 place behind Hebei. Both clubs were very strong and secure mid-table last time, but not so far this. It appeared 2 years ago Hebei were on the brink of really joining the title challengers, the likes of Guangzhou and SIPG and Beijing Guan and Shandong Luneng, but last year and this year as well, they've rather fallen off the pace. This is Zhang Lu, blocked for a Shenhua throw-in. Taken by Sun Shilin. Game with a good pace in these first 9 minutes to it. In goes Sun Shilin for Shenhua towards Kim Shin-wook. Here by Adi Fulang Shisi, with a Chinese mother, a Tanzania-born father, otherwise known as Eddie Francis. Adi Fulang Shisi is his Chinese interpretation of his name. Free kick for Hebei China Fortune. Markau for El Kabi. Now to Tao Chuanglong. El Kabi, promising cross. Away by Zhu Chenji. Back in here towards Markau. And Markau's powerful. Got the ball in too, but he's behind for nothing more than a goal kick for Shanghai Shenhua. Li Shuai, who won 11 trophies in his days with Guangzhou Evergrande, a 5-time Super League winner too, as a squad member really in his days with the once dominant Guangzhou. Of course, their domination toppled by SIPG's emergence last season. El Kabi Mascherano forward towards Mark Albert. That's going to just run through again to Li Shuai. Kim Shin-wook. Away by Geng Xiaofeng, who's a former Shenhua goalkeeper for Hebei today. Jiang Xipeng's throw here then for Hebei. Tao Chuanglong. 15 here is Wang Chuming. El Kabi. Jiang Xipeng. El Kabi there again, but too much on that. Doing his hopes of getting the job on a full-time basis. No real harm. He's certainly improved things since Chris Coleman's departure in May. 7 points from 4 games in the 4 games after the dismissal of Chris Coleman. Only though 1 point in 3 games since. There has been an upturn in terms of the points taken though under the caretaker coaching of Xifeng. Ren Hang for Hebei. Ahead Dong Shusheng, couldn't quite there find Tao Chuanglong. Still 18 Tao Chuanglong till November. Already scored his first goal in the Super League as well back in April in the defeat away to Chongqing Lifan. Zhu Chenji by Jie Jun. Cao Yunding. Lady Fulang Shisi. Helped on by Kim Shin-wook, who does, as they say, in the air, present a real target. It's Moreno. You'd say in terms of the game's ebb and flow, it's the away team Shenhua who are really in control of things in these first 13 minutes. Lady Fulang Shisi, and brought down here for a free kick for Shanghai Shenhua. Look at Shenhua's form, you can see why they are where they are. They've taken only 6 of the last 36 points on offer in Super League play. They are though into the Cup's last 8. Their quarter-final away at Tianjin Teda comes later in July. All taken by Geng Xiaofeng. El Kabi. There's control there by the Moroccan. Didn't make Hervé Renard's final selection for the Cup of Nations in Egypt. Also on the initial long list, didn't make the last 23. Zhang Lu. Kim Shin-wook for Moreno. Cao Yunding. Cao Yunding crosses here. Kim Shin-wook's header! It's a debut goal for the Korean. He is the Air Force at 6'5", and there he leapt highest of all to get his first goal in his first game for Shanghai Shenhua. Brought in to give the attack more pep and more boost and more goals. It's taken of his debut a mere 15 minutes to do just that. Lovely cross here from Cao Yunding, and the new man, the big man, was there to make it matter. Kim Shin-wook with a header. Proper target man on that service. He will thrive. The Shenhua fans love their new man already. Jiang Zhipeng. Now, how do Hebei China Fortune try and respond? Only 3 teams have worse home form than they do this season. Only 2 wins here in their 8 home matches this season. Free kick. Foul on Ren Hang. He wants a yellow card for the transgressor. He was the scorer, Kim Shin-wook. So Hebei a goal down with this free kick, which is the domain of Javier Mascherano. What can he produce? And it goes towards El Kaabi, but far too near to Li Shui, who sets Moreno in motion. Finds the goal maker, Cao Yunding. .37 here is Sun Shilin. Knocked on to Zhang Lu. And there's Kim Shin-wook again. It's come to Cao Yunding once more. Can they repeat the dose here? This one's taken in by Geng Xiaofeng. Well, when you have a player in the air who's as good as Kim Shin-wook, you have to give him service. You can see that is the game plan right now of Shanghai Shenhua. Onside here is Marcao, not quite onside. Flag does come late against the Brazilian. Just there beyond that line of white jerseys. Well, the noise coming from the travelling Shanghai Shenhua supporters. The team have the goal there, encouraging starters, perhaps warranted. Moreno here for Jiang Shenglong. Dai Jia-jun. Kim Shin-wook releases Cao Yunding. Still Cao Yunding here for Shenhua. I think a handball there against the marauding winger. 9 years now with the club, having joined from their city rivals SIPG. Marcao's header on here for El Kaabi. It's for Dong Shu.